two guys, the biggest puncher, I feel, at the 135 will probably be Gervonta Tank Davis.
Attributes, but do you think he has enough power to sustain?
Well, it's really all about skills.
Tank can do the same thing the mentor did. That's what the mentors, they teach you how to do this thing the smart way.
Boxing legend Floyd Mayweather has reportedly been left stunned after witnessing Gervonta Tank Davis's dramatic physical transformation ahead of his highly anticipated showdown with Jake Paul. Known for his compact frame and explosive power, Tank now appears noticeably bigger, stronger, and more intimidating than ever before, a change that set the boxing world abuzz. Mayweather, who once mentored Davis, couldn't hide his surprise. He hinted that the added muscle could either serve as a game-changing advantage or a dangerous gamble that slows Tank down and drains his stamina. Either way, seeing Davis bulked up like never before has reignited debates about how much size really matters in the sweet science.
Hey, can't even see who it is. Hey, who is the dude? Who is the dude?
That right there is why Gervonta Davis fights don't go the distance.
Gervonta Davis will step into the ring against Jake Paul on November 14th in Miami for a blockbuster exhibition fight that has fans split right down the middle. What's turning heads isn't just the matchup itself, it's the size difference. Davis has spent his career dominating lighter divisions, while Jake Paul usually walks around at nearly 190 to 195 pounds, with clear advantages in height and reach. The contrast between Jake's physical size and Tank's proven knockout power has made this fight one of the most unpredictable events of the year.
I was training for something like this. Obviously, smaller guy. How was this in the training aspect, Jake?
Yeah, just a lot of punching down, practicing, hitting below my knees, and a lot of speed. We're sparring.
That's what we need.
We're sparring.
Warm up.
Some 8-year-olds. I got the 8-year-olds in there.
If I find out anything, I'm gonna beat your and I'm gonna beat Jaden on Love. On my mama, I'm gonna beat both of y'all ass. On my mama. And he laughing. You know, he laughing.
What are you talking about?
What
does he have to do with this?
Let anything. You know what I'm talking about. Let anything. Nah, I don't have to say it right now. Don't worry about it. I don't gotta say it up here. Let anything happen, and I'ma show you and him. Bet.
Despite the flashy build-up and social media spectacle, insiders insist that Gervonta Davis is treating this fight with deadly seriousness. Those close to his training camp describe a fighter locked in, focused, and determined to make a statement. Observers at press events have noted his composed posture and piercing focus, signs that Tank isn't here just to entertain. For him, this fight goes beyond money. It's about pride, reputation, and the chance to prove that skill can conquer size. A victory over Jake Paul could catapult his popularity to new heights, reaching audiences far beyond the boxing hardcore. Critics may call it a circus, but Davis's mindset makes one thing clear: this is personal. He wants control of his story, and he's willing to fight for it.
Press conference, and you can tell, you can just look at him and tell, like, no, this dude he's gonna get this money for sure, because there's so much money out there to be had. But Jake Paul better be not playing around, man. Not get cute, not play any games, don't hit him in the back of the head, don't rabbit punch him, don't do any of that stuff, man, because Mike Tyson, first of all, Mike Tyson, a lot of people think Mike Tyson was pulling punches on Jake Paul, and a lot of people think that Anderson Silva was pulling punches on him too. You're not gonna have a little Gervonta out there pulling punches on you, man, if you're out there playing games. So, I don't like the fight at all. However, as far as it being an entertaining situation, I almost guarantee you that fight itself is going to be entertaining. That it's going to be something that you look at and you're going to say, man, everybody's going to watch it. Everybody's going to want to know what happens in it. But at the same time, it's kind of like what people think, when you see a car crash, like you're driving down the road and all of a sudden the traffic gets heavy and you're like, man, I'm going to be in traffic for a long time. And then you drive forward a little bit and then you see, oh oh man, this is some accident on the other side of the road and everybody just slowing down to watch. That's the type of entertainment that you can expect from this fight between Gervonta Davis and Jake Paul. There's going to be a lot of people watching it, but I gotta say, man, you really can't blame the guy on what he's doing. And there's a lot of criticism flying on Gervonta Davis. It's not Gervonta Davis's fault that boxing took this turn. This turn of these exhibition fights and people not caring about the belts and all of that stuff came with Floyd Mayweather Jr., man.
Mayweather, despite his complicated relationship with Davis, has always recognized Tank's raw potential. He's repeatedly praised Davis for being more than just a knockout artist, calling him one of the most complete fighters of his generation. According to Mayweather, Tank's combination of timing, accuracy, and fight IQ separates him from the rest. However, Floyd also issued a warning: relying solely on power is a dangerous path. True greatness, he reminded, comes from balance, defense, movement, and composure. Coming from a perfectionist like Mayweather, that praise carries weight.
Do Anui deserve to be in the pound for pound? Absolutely. Do Terrence Crawford deserve to be in the pound for pound? Absolutely. But what about Gervonta Davis? He deserved to be somewhere also in the pound for pound.
Why don't they give him that credit?
Because he was affiliated with me.
Floyd Mayweather played a crucial role early in Davis's rise, guiding him through the spotlight and pressure of elite boxing. Under Mayweather Promotions, Tank gained not only exposure but also lessons in composure, strategy, and the business side of the sport. But over time, cracks began to show. The mentor-student relationship turned tense, eventually collapsing in 2022. What began as guidance soon became control, and Tank started to feel trapped within the system that built him.
You black, giving back. So I was working with, I got a fighter, one of the best fighters out there today, Gervonta Tank Davis. I got it when he was young. I put him in a position. Now he's 3-time world champion.
Their fallout runs deeper than money or contracts. Davis has accused Mayweather of holding him back, of constantly putting him in situations where he couldn't truly shine. In Tank's eyes, Floyd's need to control every aspect of his fighters' careers crossed the line from mentorship into manipulation. He even admitted that, behind closed doors, the respect was gone. Floyd, he said, didn't celebrate others' success unless it benefited him. What was once a bond built on trust has now turned into quiet resentment.
First of all, Floyd don't never want to see no one like a fighter do better than them. Why the say Terrence Crawford should fight? Benavidez. That don't make no fucking sense. He don't never want to see nobody be better than him. I'm telling you.
He's next in line. He's next in line.
Is there like a brother?
The last question, guys.
Is there like a love-hate for Floyd though? Like,
yeah,
the fighter?
Yeah, I love the fighter. Like, I ain't gonna lie, if he was like chill, like he'll be the smoothest. But he's not. You know what I mean? He's a great fighter. And my bad. And
you're good, man.
And he cause I don't want to say like he's just a scumbag, but it's like he's a great fighter, and sometimes he can be good, but it's like it's always I'm this.
Davis has also taken aim at Mayweather's ego, claiming it often overshadows the humility that legends are supposed to carry. During one interview, when a reporter called Floyd one of the greatest, Mayweather instantly corrected him, insisting he was the greatest of all time. For Tank, that moment said everything. In his eyes, Floyd's obsession with legacy has blinded him to the values that made him great in the first place.
You're backed by arguably one of the greatest of all time, right?
What are we rating ourselves on? What are we rating on?
Okay.
Well, we want to know, in the least amount of fights, I didn't have to have 70 fights, or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that...
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
Just a guy with a job. I have a job, though. So who would you fight next?
Guess what?
And guess what? Your job don't pay like my job.
Well, it depends.
And your job
well,
don't pay like my job.
That brings me to another point.
I know,
Why are you coming back?
I can make $200 million in 18 months because I want to. Because I want to come back and steal some more money. I'm in a whole new era, dominating
That's right.
fighting.
And he's a whole new fighter, Floyd.
A whole new fighter.
Oh yeah.
And when I beat him, what they gonna say? Oh well, we knew this was gonna happen. Floyd Mayweather was a bigger fighter, or he can outbox him, or this. It's always excuses.
Boxing icon Bernard Hopkins echoed those sentiments, calling Mayweather's influence over Gervonta Davis more restrictive than empowering. Hopkins claimed that Davis wasn't limited by talent. He was limited by control. In his view, Floyd's shadow became a cage, one that stopped Tank from evolving on his own terms. Hopkins urged Davis to break free, to write his own legacy without standing in anyone's shadow. It was a bold statement, one that reflected the growing belief among boxing veterans that Davis's next chapter begins only when he steps completely out of Mayweather's reach.
I commend Tank on saying, hey, this is my career. You had yours. I respect you from buying me a chain, buying me this, buying me that, take me on a jet. All that's great. But at the end of the day, I'm only going by his interview. You seen it and I seen it. Thank you, Floyd Mayweather, for all the things you gave me. If the intentions was you just looking out for me. But I got an opportunity to fight this big fight. And this soap opera between you and Oscar for all these years, I'm not gonna let it affect me. That's my interpretation. And Tank wants to do the fight, but he had to break away from the chains of somebody he still respects and respected then. And he said, man, I gotta do what I gotta do. This is my career.
Roy Jones Jr. isn't shocked by Gervonta Tank Davis's decision to fight Jake Paul. In fact, he sees it as a calculated move that mirrors Floyd Mayweather's own playbook. Jones explained that Davis is taking a smart risk, stepping into a fight that combines financial reward with massive global attention. While he doesn't necessarily endorse the matchup, Roy recognizes the business logic behind it. To him, Davis is blending ambition with strategy, using entertainment to expand his brand while keeping one foot firmly in the world of real boxing.
Tank can do the same thing the mentor did. That's what the mentor is for, to teach you how to do this thing the smart way and not get you hurt. Not have to take no risk, not to take many chances. Everybody had their own mentors, their own pound for pounds, their own people they want to be like. If he want to be like that guy that y'all say is great and was one of the best ever, why can't he do it? If he make 50 to 100 million fighting Jake Paul, they'll be cool with it because they're cool with you making money. That's what the fan bases are on now. They happy with you just making money being good. Back in our day, they won't be cool with that. You had to prove you was the best. They thought you fought because you wanted to be the best of the division or the best of your era. I want to be the best in my division. As a matter of fact, I want to be the best around my division. Not just in my division, even around my division, I want to be the best. Today's fighters, they have been taught that that's not the way to do it nowadays. Nowadays, go for the bag. So everybody is going for the bag.
Trainer Greg Hackett voiced his frustration with the backlash surrounding Gervonta Davis's choice. According to Hackett, today's fans are quick to criticize every move a fighter makes without understanding the sacrifices behind the scenes. He argued that if Tank wants to fight Jake Paul, that decision deserves respect. Fighters, he said, deal with mental, physical, and financial pressures that outsiders can't fully grasp. Hackett emphasized that boxing is already one of the toughest sports in the world, and no one has the right to dictate who a fighter should face. His words reflected a growing sentiment among trainers who feel that social media has turned boxing criticism into a toxic spectacle rather than genuine discussion.
And number 3, the retirement.
I mean, the backlash is just what people do nowadays. That's just, you give somebody a keyboard, you give them a phone, and they able to hide their face. Yeah, they're gonna have to feel that. The backlash I get, I understand. Would you say number 2, not fight Shakur?
Yeah, he's saying he'll never fight Shakur, that he ain't gonna do him no favors, that he ain't gonna help him make no money because Shakur broke or something like that. Something along those lines.
Yeah, I don't get all that. That's, you know what I mean, that's against the game. Like, you know what I mean? You at least owe that fight for the game. You know what I mean? You owe the rematch to Lamont for the game. But you owe Shakur for the game just because of the 2 style matchups. You know what I mean? But if he feel like he don't gotta fight him, guess what? We can't sit here and just go crazy about it. But it is kind of crazy. It is kind of corny. You know what I'm saying? If he not gonna fight Shakur, And if he's standing on it, like, I'm not ever gonna fight you, I'm not doing you no favors, and all right. But then again, you know what? I don't know what them guys got going on. I don't know what they've been through personally. You know what I'm saying? But would I love to see that fight? Hell yeah, I would love to see that fight. And then number 3, you said what? You said
retirement.
The retirement. Oh, boxing. Boxing. They're around. They're around. There's always gloves around. It's on you. It's on you. I'm chilling. You all right? Yeah, get with me. I know. How you feel? Dark skin boy. That's my man. The retirement is like he done a lot in his career, right? Not everything, but he done a lot. What people don't understand is his business is a lot. This whole experience is a lot. The shit these fighters go through is hard to explain. It's hard to explain because people, they can't see it, so they can't understand it. But it's stressful to the fighters because they coming from just getting ready to fight in the amateurs, being prepared, going out there, win, get it done, celebrate. All right, we back to the next camp. To now, marketing. You're talking about marketing. You're talking about lawyers. You're talking about all this shit that you just never imagined. You like, why do I have to deal with all of this?
Former world champion Paulie Malignaggi, known for his blunt opinions, didn't hold back on his criticism of the Davis versus Jake Paul fight. He argued that these kinds of crossover bouts cheapen boxing's legacy by blurring the line between spectacle and sport. Malignaggi believes that when knockouts come against mismatched opponents, they lose their meaning, turning the sport into entertainment rather than competition. In a conversation with Chris Algieri, he explained that while these fights may attract casual fans, they also create confusion about what real boxing is supposed to look like. For Paulie, it's a warning sign that the industry is prioritizing views over values, risking the purity that made boxing great in the first place.
Paulie, knockouts, dude. Knockouts. People like knockouts. They don't care if you're knocking out cab drivers. Look at Jake Paul's career.
You can manufacture that though. You can manufacture that though. You can manufacture.
You can't manufacture.
To a
Gervonta
degree,
Davis.
you can. To a degree. I mean, you can't. Yeah, Gervonta legitimately cannot get knockouts. I agree. He can punch, but there's a lot of limited knockout artists though, man.
He's one of the least active punchers in the game with the highest knockout percentage of current heavyweight.
But if he was a real knockout artist,
current champions.
If he was a real knockout artist, prop him up against the best of the best. Felix Trinidad was a knockout artist. He was knocking out the best of the best. If you're a real knockout artist, prop him up against the best and show us how he smokes them. But the way
Paulie,
we did
also,
when Felix Trinidad was doing it. You know, the way they did it when Mike Tyson was doing it in his prime. Okay, say what you want about the Mike Tyson era. He knocked out everyone from 1986 to 1989. Everyone got knocked out. Everyone.
Well, by your standard, you could say that Tyson was to a degree manufactured.
No,
and
because
Teddy
he
Atlas
fought
100%,
everyone that was there. Everyone that was there at that time.
Teddy Atlas will 100% agree with this.
With the expense
he
of
would say the guys
Witherspoon.
that were afraid of
With
him.
the exception of Witherspoon. No, but they all doesn't matter. He knocked them all out. There was nobody you could say in that era except maybe Witherspoon, who had contract.
You can say the same thing about
who had contract issues with King at the time. Except for Witherspoon, there is nobody Tyson didn't fight in that era. He knocked them all out. You can't say like, oh, but if he would have fought that guy, I don't know. No, with Davis, there's guys right now that have been hanging around for years. Yo, dude, when are you gonna fight them? The lightweight division was stacked with talent. Even at 130, it had a lot of talent when he was there. Didn't fight almost any of them. So it's not the same thing as the Tyson era. You want to say anything about Tyson era? Fine. It wasn't as high level or something. He still knocked out everyone.
Boxing analyst Showbiz the Adult, however, offered a much more optimistic view. Initially skeptical about Tank size disadvantage, Showbiz admitted that his perspective changed after watching the press conference. He was impressed by Davis's composure, confidence, and quiet intensity. According to Showbiz, Tank looked like a man who understood the magnitude of the moment and was completely unfazed by the circus around him. He predicted that many fans will be surprised when the fight begins, not by Jake Paul's power, but by Davis's technical sharpness and fight IQ. For Showbiz, this matchup might just remind the world that true skill can neutralize size, strength, and height.
I want this kid. Listen, I was feeling that Jake Paul was going to knock out Tank. This press conference made me feel a little bit more confident about Tank. I'm no cap. I know it's Tank wasn't saying much, fumbling over his words, seems bashful. But I'm looking, right? And I'm just like, bro, he doesn't feel that Jake Paul is an issue. Even though he said it, he doesn't feel like he has to whoop his ass. He doesn't feel threatened. That's the word. He doesn't feel threatened, but he does feel out of his element. Yo, I'm gonna be honest, man. It sounds like, I know everybody's looking at this press conference and it's like, number one, I know what y'all saying. It's a clown show. It's not real. Tank was paid off. It's fake. Cause Tank, when he was talking about Jake and JB, even I was like, what is he talking about?
He laughing.
What are you talking about? What does he have to do with this?
Let anything, you know what I'm talking about. Let anything. Nah, I don't have to say it right now. Don't worry about it. I don't got to say it up here. Let anything happen.
Promoter Eddie Hearn has been openly critical of Davis's decision to face Jake Paul rather than pursue tougher legacy fights. He pointed out that Davis could have taken a rematch with Lamont Roach Jr. or gone after Shakur Stevenson for a true challenge. Instead, Hearn believes Tank chose the more profitable and less risky path, estimating that the Jake Paul exhibition could earn him between $30 to $40 million, compared to the smaller purse of a legitimate title bout. Hearn went further, saying that if Davis really wanted to prove greatness, he'd have taken the Stevenson fight, a matchup that would test his patience, precision, and heart. Confidently, Hearn predicted that Stevenson would come out on top in that scenario, citing his superior boxing IQ and discipline.
If you were Tank's promoter, what would the next step be for Tank?
I heard they were going to fight Jake Paul. When I see Jake Paul at the event and I see Jake Paul posting from the private jet with a picture of Gervonta Davis.
Slapped it.
Yeah, but they had that for a reason. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
You had to buy it, you had to get it made.
Yeah, but I can't believe that fight was going to happen. But anyway, crazy stuff's happening. Yeah, you got to rematch Lamont Roach. You got to. It'll probably get ordered. That's the reality by the New York State Athletic Commission. But listen, they may have got lucky because the only fight for Tank outside of after Lamont Roach was Shakur Stevenson.
Facts.
Right? Now they've got another opponent that will do well at the gate because of the controversy.
Yep.
And it ain't Shakur Stevenson. I keep telling people Shakur Stevenson beats Tank.
You cannot
say that Shakur Stevenson would not have beaten Tank last Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
So what do you think? Is Gervonta Tank Davis facing Jake Paul a brilliant business move or a step backward for boxing's legacy? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this isn't just a fight, it's a statement about where the sport is headed next.